All right.
Powered by Emery Allen.
Here is your host, Ryan Lee.
All right. Let's go. It's Lighting for Profits. I'm your host, Ryan Lee. Oh, did I say we're powered by Emery Allen? That's cool. Excited for today's show. I was running a little bit late. I was a little flustered. My air conditioning was a little warm, but Lindsay turned it down, and we're going to be good to go now. I think we're going to be good. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we are trending Lighting for Profits, the number one landscape lighting show in Davis, California. Pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of people talking about it. Northern California. They love Lighting for Profits. Today we got a great show. Look, if you're looking to start or grow a landscape lighting business, or heck, any business, today is your day. We got Miss Meaghan Likes coming on the show. She's been on here before. And if you've heard her speak, if you've heard her on the show, you're definitely going to want to pay attention, take notes. We are here to educate and motivate to help you dominate. And today's show is no different. So a couple reminders before we got Meaghan coming on. Again, Meaghan Likes. She owns like 17 million businesses. So I'm not sure how to introduce her, but we'll go with Likes Accounting. Should we go with Likes Accounting? That seems like a good one. Okay, yeah. But excited to have her on. We're going to nerd out on all things business. We're probably going to talk a little numbers, but not in a bad way, in a good way, because we want to help you make more money. It's called Lighting for Profits, people. We want profits in your pocket so you can do more good in the world. Just a quick reminder, Secret Summit coming up, just 3 weeks, September 25th through 27th. And there's two ways to come. You can be a part of Lighting Academy, which you can try for just $1. Go to lightingacademy.net, I think. I don't even know. But just, or shoot me a message. I don't think it's .com. I think it's lightingacademy.net. Or you can just step up to the big leagues and join Landscape Lighting Secrets. It's our members only event. We do it one time a year. So you're going to want to be in this room. It's a mastermind. We have some speakers, some breakouts, but this is your chance to network and really form relationships. And we're big on community here at Secrets, or Landscape Lighting Secrets. So hopefully you'll be there, Secret Summit. If you are already in the program and you need a promo code, hit me up. We'll make sure that you don't pay full price to come to that. So again, that's September 25th through 27th. And even if you're not a member of Lighting Academy or Landscape Lighting Secrets, and you want to hang out with the lighting community and you want to nerd out and party, September 27th, West Palm Beach, Luxury Illumination. It's their 10-year anniversary party, and it is going to be epic. Okay, make the trip to West Palm Beach. You're going to want to see Greg's place. His showroom is phenomenal. And if the only thing you did was just saw that and got inspired by what he's doing, that would make the trip worth it. Okay, so make sure you guys come. And we have a registration link. It's free to come to this party. And we're doing like food trucks. We're doing a live band. We're doing this guy who makes fancy cigars. I don't smoke cigars, but it looks really cool. And it makes me want to smoke cigars. And so you're going to want to be at that party. It's dang cool. Okay. Again, in just a few minutes, we got Meaghan Likes Accounting, and owns a bunch of other businesses we're going to talk about. Before I have her on, real quick. So twice a month inside Landscape Lighting Secrets and Lighting Academy, we host a lighting design call. And this is your chance to get real live, like real-time instruction, feedback, advice on lighting design. And Patrick Harters, he's been in the lighting industry for at least 25 years, maybe 30. This guy is the reason he normally runs these calls, because he's like smarter than me. He knows more than me. He's better than me. Like, he is the guy to run the lighting design calls. But today he had a conflict. And so normally if he has a conflict, we have a few subs that we reach out to, and we did, and they were all tied up. So guess who got to sub the lighting design call today? And that was this guy. So it was a lot of fun. I actually got like nervous. I don't get nervous a lot anymore, just because I'm always talking about profits and pricing and sales. It's like, it's just become like who I am. But I was like, well, I haven't talked lighting design for a while. So I got the jitters, and I was like, uh-oh, like, what if I screw up? And I had all these thoughts, right? But it was so exciting. It was fun, for one, to kind of get back in the lighting design seat and talk with the group about these things. And I want to share just a couple things before we have Meaghan on. But it was kind of fascinating, because I was like, man, I'm not quite as comfortable. I'm not quite as confident. Like, I don't know how this is going to come out, but it was super cool. I decided to share some projects of mine, some that I had taken photos myself and some that I had hired a professional photographer. But I shared a couple things. I want to share those with you today. Number one is you need to simplify your designs if you want to scale. And what I mean by that is, in landscape lighting, we tend to have this very artistic side of us. that wants to like just lean in hard to that and like make sure everything's perfect because it's like a portrait, it's a painting. And it's awesome. It's something that can help differentiate us and make us not a commodity, but it can also be the thing that hinders us because if you're just getting started and you're only doing, a couple jobs a month or something like that, like you can do that, right? But what you don't think about is like what's going to happen like 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now when that person calls you back and they need maintenance. And that's what most people don't think about when they're starting their business is like what's going to happen down the road. So if you go in and customize and you have like all these different styles of lamps, different colors, color temperatures, different levels of brightness and beam spreads, that's a lot to keep track of. It's a lot to inventory. And then if someone calls you out to replace a lamp and it's supposed to be, a 7 watt, 100 degree, and you're like, well, I don't have that on my truck. Now I got to go back to my shop and then I got to come back. And like, that's where you can lose a lot of money because you're not being efficient. And so I figured out ways to actually check the box of being an artist and check the box of being a business that can scale. And it's basically just simplifying your design process. And so it doesn't mean that you can't have exquisite projects, and it doesn't mean if someone's going to spend 100 grand, okay, maybe we make a small variance for them. Maybe we'll throw them some special stuff. But I'm talking your regular $10,000, $20,000 projects that you can throw in a couple days. You don't want to overcomplicate these. And so I recommend doing one color temperature. It's usually 2700K or it's usually 3000K. So pick one color temperature. And then you just want to pick like two lamps, a 4 watt and a 7 watt. You can do so much with 2700K and a 4 watt and a 7 watt. And then the last thing is a 4 watt and a 7 watt is each going to have a 40 degree and a 60 degree. And if you will have that, that's basically four lamps because you have a 4 watt that's a 40 degree and one that's a 60 degree. Then you have a 7 watt that's a 40 degree and a 60 degree. So these four lamps you could do a lot with. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to have a wash light here and there, but even a downlight, you could do a 4 watt, 60 degree. And I showed some pictures, which I don't have the luxury right now to show pictures, but you can do a lot with these four different lamps, right? That looks like you're maybe utilizing more than you really are, and it's designing with intention. So number one, I just want to make sure that you simplify your designs to scale because most people aren't charging accordingly. If you want it to be a masterpiece, like every job you go on, you probably have to charge more than $10,000 because when you start adding up like what insurance is going to cost and overhead and labor and materials, you got to kind of crank out 10K a day if you want to build this efficient machine. And what I've found is the artists, they're doing like $10,000 and it's taking them 3 days because they're so custom and they want it to be perfect. And it's like, that's cool and all. It's just, you're not going to make any money. That's not a business. That's a nonprofit. So you need to change your tax code. And then the second thing is design with intention. So you're going to simplify, but then you're going to design with intention, meaning when you go and talk with your clients and you just show them like a picture of a house, they're like, oh, that looks good. And you have like one uplight on a tree, let's say. Of course it looks good because they didn't have anything to compare it against. But if you show them a picture of a tree with just one light on it, on the front of it, and then you show them another picture where like one's on the left, one's on the right, now has like a dark stripe down the middle of the tree, and now it looks more 3D instead of like a flat tree. Well, now you're selling with design, you're selling with intention, and you're not selling fixtures, you're not selling a commodity. Now you're explaining why you're an artist because homeowners don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Before I got into lighting, I didn't know why you would need 5 lights on a tree. It's like, that's stupid. Just get one light, flood the house. They don't know. So the problem is we get so educated on what we do that it becomes the new norm. And we assume that everyone has our same knowledge. And that's just not true. And so it's really important that you explain your why. And what's cool about lighting is we don't even have to explain it. We can show it. So as you build your portfolio, and some people aren't going to let you, they're not going to spend to have 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on a tree. And they're only going to have one. And that's fine. Like, do it. You're just not going to check the box of being an artist that day, but you're still going to be a successful business owner. So check that box, take a picture, and show people what it looks like with one light. And then when those people let you open up the checkbook and they go, yes, we love your ideas, we love what you're doing, take pictures of that. And then you can show people like, you like A or B better. And then people are gonna be like, I like B better. It's like, okay, cool. That does cost a lot more money. But explaining your why is going to help you guys differentiate yourself and like when people say, "Oh man, people are ruining the market and flooding the market, and there's all these low price people." Like, who cares? Like, if you're selling to the right person, that's 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 going to help you, because the red flag isn't why are you so expensive. The red flag is why are they so cheap, and you can show them, not just tell, but show them why your proposal and your design is that much better. So, wanted to share that with you guys real quick. I was fired up. It was fun. It was fun to do something new, because normally I host like the sales calls and the business stuff and all that. So it was really cool to talk lighting design. We talked about light levels. We talked about how to use darkness and shadows to your advantage, so that if you light everything, then kind of nothing is special. It's like, oh, cool, stuff's lit. But it's really, really cool. I'm addicted to light. I was reminded today that I still am passionate about lighting, and I probably always will be. Okay, so let's see. Where's my background music? Oh, there it is. Speaking of lighting design, nothing hurts a quality landscape lighting install quite like flickering bulbs, a yellow fringe around the perimeter of the beam spread, or bulbs that burn out after a few on and off cycles. Don't jeopardize your customer's experience by using a budget bulb. If you want to go out of your way to provide a world-class customer experience, choose Emery Allen. At the end of the day, it's what's on the inside that counts. Take advantage of Emery Allen's world-class customer service and get 10% off your first order. All you need to do is just email tomg@emeryallen.com, and he will hook you up. So email tomg@emeryallen.com. Mention Lighting for Profits, unless you want to pay more, because he will hook you up with that discounted contractor pricing. And they're just a good family. It's cool to have their support. They've been supporting the podcast for years now, and our events and everything. So go check them out if you haven't. tomg@emeryallen.com. Don't go to their website. Don't. Some people do, and then they just pay more. All right. I think it's time. I think Megan's ready. I know I'm ready. Let's get the intro music going. Oh, there it is. Welcome to the show, Miss Meaghan Likes. How are you?
Long lost friend. How are you?
Yeah, this is what we have to do. Schedule podcasts together to get caught up, huh?
So silly. So silly. I haven't heard you nerd out in a while. That was pretty nerdy.
Oh, I love it.
Normally you're nerding out about money and like more money, and then I'm doing math about how much money. Yeah, that was fun. That was like all about. Last time I heard you nerd out, you went viral. Do you remember that? And it was like one light versus two lights. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yes. That was
What
so
is
great.
that?
All I was doing, I was like, hey guys, it was right before I came out with Lighting Academy. I was like, here's some new stuff I put together. Check it out. There was no intention, but like I just put it out there. And yeah, the world got pissed.
It was so
They were
fun.
like, why would you light trees? Like, you're killing the bugs. And I was like, open your door and let the bugs in your house then, if you love bugs so much. And I kind of got defensive, but not really. Like, I was having fun.
I remembered just looking at the views. I was just counting. I was like, look at this guy. He's just going nuts. It was great.
Yeah, I'm a one-time wonder. It was 2 million views, and since then I get like 200.
Well, there you go. But you are trending in Davis, California this week.
I
So
know. Isn't
you're
that cool?
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have been you've been pre-promoting the show, telling everyone in Davis, huh?
And to all my friends, hey, this is like my favorite podcast. I listen to it all the time.
All
I
right.
learn
So
so much.
I want to declare a couple things on today's show, but before that, you've been on the show before, but there's some people that don't listen to every episode. I know. Shame on them.
Why would they not?
Sinners. They should
They
repent.
don't live in Davis. That's why.
Yeah, but they might go back. But for those that don't know who Meaghan Likes is, do you want to just do a quick intro?
Sure. I'm Meaghan Likes. I made Ryan be my friend a long time ago in a trade show hallway when I heard that he was helping people build more profitable businesses. And then he kind of went viral in my like mastermind chat, and people were like, have you heard about this this thing. It's called landscape lighting, where you can make a bunch of money in one day. And there's this guy who's teaching us how to sell it and do it well. His name's Ryan Lee, and you have like a 2-name name. It's always Ryan Lee, not just Ryan Lee. Yeah. And so I'm an accountant. I love to count money. I love to count money in home service companies. I also am a window cleaner. I own a window cleaning company. And then I have a bunch of other businesses. I just really love talking about how to find your financial freedom and to build your financial future. And Ryan and I have kind of paralleled for the past, I don't know, it's been 4 years now since we did that lock-in, that one time that we locked ourselves on Zoom for 2 consecutive days. And I feel like we have a very common mission, which is like, I want you to do more math so that you can charge more. And then people, they get like a little nervous and hesitant. And so then I'm like, well, you need to meet Ryan, because he doesn't seem to get nervous and hesitant, except for when he's about to talk about kelvins of lights. I don't know. That's a weird look on you, you being nervous about talking about lights.
I know.
Anyhow, and I'm like, so you just need to sell better. And Ryan's a pretty good sales guy, and he's got some pretty good sales systems. And
I love it.
like there's a couple other weird quirks there. Like, you need to know your website address, please. Like, that's just, I always take notes when he's doing his
Let's look it up.
intro. And come on, just look at, is it .net? Is it not .net? Please say it's not .net anymore. We've moved to the future.
I know I'm weird. It's like it wasn't available, but I already want the name. Yeah, it's .net. Everyone just go to .net. Lightingacademy.net.
Okay,
But don't worry, the other ones are .com. So it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild. It's like, she'll earn her .com over time, but not right now.
Well, and I can't really give him too much, because one time he gave me a domain. He and I were naming something. He's like, I think I own that one. And they just gifted it to me. So yeah, Ryan, I'm a fan, huge fan. And I love what we're doing here on the podcast, talking about money, making more money, keeping more money. Yeah, and doing more with less.
Very cool. I love it. Well, you mentioned a lot of really good things. We aligned so well. We have like this different ways to get there, right? And you're like, when I met you, I was like, whoa, like I know like I should do these things, but she actually teaches people how to do it, right? And that was cool, because I was like, me too. I was like taking notes, like, how do I do that? Like I know I should do that, but I'm not doing it. So really, really cool. So how many businesses do you own?
It's fluid. I think the answer is 8 today. I have failed many times. So people get so excited about the number of businesses, and my mentor's like, Meaghan, that doesn't count. You shouldn't count that. So I have failed 6 times in business in the past less than 10 years. So they're not all perfect. They're not all sunshine and rainbow. And they don't all make a shit ton of money. So they're not all over $1 million. And then I'm like, how do you count it? I mean, if you count it by employees, like we have about 50 employees across those 8 companies. If you count it by profitability, one of my businesses is at like 75% net profit. If you count it, yeah, right. If you count it based on impact, like I have a nonprofit that actually doesn't make that much or net that much, but it helps thousands of girls every year. Like, so it's fluid, but I think technical active registrations attached to the Meaghan Likes name or our parent company is 8 today.
That's amazing. So besides the nonprofit, which one has become your favorite right now?
Oh, that's tricky. So we just launched a new one that did over 6 figures in the first 30 days, and that was really fun. Like,
Wow.
that's rare. That feels braggy, but that can't be my favorite, because that's like the shiny new object. Like, it's like 6 weeks old, and I haven't seen all of the Andy, come on, man. This is when
I think
Ryan's gonna be
that's what
like, Meaghan, remember that time you gave me a domain? Can you go hook me up,
I know.
please?
I'm pretty sure someone bought it and then they're like, I'll sell it to Ryan Lee for 9K. Because that's probably why it's .net. I probably looked that up and I was like, 9 grand. Like, we don't make that much money.
Somebody did that to me once. They bought nobodylikesaccounting.com, and then they said that they would sell it to me later when I needed it bad enough. And I was like, that's not fair. I also
I
bought
do like,
somebody's retired one. Like, they had one. It was Dom. He had one and it expired, and I noticed. And so I picked it up, and I was like, someday he's going to wonder what he's going to do with
that's
that.
awesome.
He's going to hold it.
That's awesome.
You're
It
a
is.
business nerd when you like have multiple pages of website domains.
I know. And I buy them. I think you might be the only person I've gifted a domain to so far. So there you go. But I did think, oh, that's kind of cool. Like over time, because I just always buy them. It's like just reach out. Hey, I noticed you're doing this. I'm sending you this domain. That's a
You
cool
need it.
gift.
Yeah, it was. It was good. Profitstofreedom.com was the domain, if you're wondering what it was. So thanks for that, Ryan. That was good. And I love that his brain worked like that. He picked it up a year or two before I needed it. It was great.
Well, hopefully you make millions, and then I can just fly on your private jet every once in a while. That's all. That's all I ask.
No, you and I always get confused. You're buying the private jet and picking me up because you
Okay.
have a bunch of kids. So like you like to fly first class. So like you need the private jet first.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I want to declare before we're going to get into some
You
nerdy
make me
stuff
so
today.
nervous with your declarations, especially when I haven't seen you in like
Declarations.
12 months. So let's see. Go ahead.
I know. So there, like lighting for profits is awesome. I don't have a date. Someone asked me like, how long are you going to do it for? And I was like, until I'm done with it. Like it could be next week. I don't know. Like I'm not saying, I'm not announcing anything, but like once I'm done with it, I'm like, no, I'm living in this phase of my life where I'm just doing what I want to do. And that doesn't mean every day is awesome and every week. There's certain things where I'm like, I don't want to do this right now, but I do want to do it because I know it's the right thing. But when I'm done, I'm just going to be like done. But I want to do another podcast that isn't so specific to lighting for profits. And I was like, man, I got this. It's already done in my head. I already have the theme. I already have the stuff. I already have the things. And you and I, we're co-hosts, and we're doing this. It was actually supposed to start 9 months ago, January of this year, and I, you know, I didn't make it happen. But one day, I'm declaring Megan and Ryan Lee will be doing a podcast together. It's going to change the world. It's going to be epic because it's going to.
He already had the name. I think he already had the domain, but this has been an imaginary Ryan Lee plan for a while. So
Yeah.
more than 9 months. This has been ongoing. But
Well, yeah, the plan started well before that, but the start date was January 2025.
right. Right. Well, someday, this is his declaration that someday he likes the idea of us shooting the shit publicly and having people listen to us. And when he says we're going to change the world, I mean, we really are because they're going to be more profitable and they're going to be happier.
The content we're going to put out on this thing, because I already have these. You don't know this, but like I already have these imaginary conversations while I'm driving in my truck.
With Meaghan Likes. It's
Yeah,
so
and I'm
good.
like, so Megan, what would you do in this situation? And then you talk, and I wait for you to respond a little bit. It's not like I don't allow you the full 3 minutes, but I let you respond for like a few seconds, and then I'm like, yeah, that's totally what it is. And then yeah, so it's already been done. I just have to like record it.
That was good. I want to like, can I participate in one of these imaginary conversations someday?
No,
Maybe you should
because
just
it won't be
record it
imaginary.
and then tell me what I said or what you needed me to say in that moment. That
You know
is a
what?
sign of a good friendship though. Like I've called Ryan SOS 911 on many occasions. But I don't call him as often now because I know he's gonna be like, buck up, just do the thing. Or yeah, you said you were gonna do that 2 weeks ago. Raise your prices. That's what he's gonna tell me.
Exactly. The solution to everything.
Focus. Stop selling boobs.
All right,
Just
so
so
we're gonna do the
is that the
podcast.
first declaration that we're gonna have an imaginary podcast in the future, the two of us?
Well, no, it's not gonna be imaginary at that point.
Right. Someday it will be a real non-imaginary with real conversations that other people can listen to.
I think it's gonna be awesome because you
Okay.
you you just have a way. You have a better way of like, I don't know. It's gonna be awesome.
Many times it will happen today, I'm sure. I'll be like, so what you meant to say was, or what you were trying to say was, and then he'll be like, yeah, that obviously.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
already happened to us once since we've been on this call. I was like,
Oh,
so
really?
you meant to like, and he's like, oh, I totally did. You're right. I just forgot.
Yeah, we're announcing Megan is Meaghan Likes. This is the first time we've announced this. No one we haven't announced any speakers yet, but Megan is going to be one of our speakers at Light It Up Expo 2026 in Orlando, Florida. Let the cat out of the bag right here.
Me? Wow, what a good idea. I've always wanted to speak at Light It Up. And it's gonna be in
Always.
Orlando. And it's gonna be in March. It's gonna be so fun. Oh, Ryan, you're the best. It's gonna be great.
We're probably going to sell out in the next 30 minutes, I would say now. So,
Well, if we
guys better
don't
get.
give them any good content except for us shooting the shit, then we're not gonna sell out. So we need
Oh,
to show
dude,
them.
you kidding me? All right.
You show 'em
So
what
I
we're good.
I do have some questions for you. But did you ask? Or yeah, you kind of did answer. What do you like about the window cleaning business? Like
Oh,
what?
yeah, I didn't answer, but that is still the same answer. It's still my favorite. I absolutely love the window cleaning business because it's simple. And it's developed. Like, for those of you that are listening to this and you're in grind mode or you're in build mode, like, it's exhausting and it's hard. And like, one of the ways that Ryan and I became friends is like we would have to build systems together because it takes a lot of energy to put together a system. And the good news is there are things like landscape lighting secrets that will help you with systems, right? So you don't have to start from scratch, but it's still really exhausting. And so what I love about the window cleaning company now is we can go to something like the huge convention, which Ryan did not go to this year. We missed you very much. But you can go somewhere and you can be like, what do I need to tweak? Like, what do I need to focus on? And it's these little tiny tweaks. And those little tiny tweaks can add up to like significant differences. For us, we're at like a 35% growth rate this year with these little tiny tweaks. And I love that. Like, it's fun because the people are there, the clients are there, the systems are there, but it's not perfect. We're not like sailing off into the sunset. I'm still doing stuff, but it's fun stuff and it's stuff that makes a big difference. And now we're
What,
impacting
what are
lots of
some
people's lives.
what are some tweaks? Like what are some of these small things you do that compound and apply leverage?
So I loved your fun fact of the week this week. And what I heard you say was keep it simple. What I heard you say was just try to productize this custom solution that you're giving. And I feel like more of us could listen to those first 14 minutes again and really hear it. We're headed into Christmas light season. And I know in landscape lighting, you're like, either you love it or you hate it. That's fine. But the idea is like, until you've mastered how to price profitably for roof lines, you probably don't have any business doing trees or bushes or minis or porches or decorations or like the I don't know. I feel like the simple things are the best things. So in our window cleaning company, we have really focused this year on simplifying. So I'm talking about goals. Like, how many jobs do we need to book a day? Stupid simple number, but it took us like 45 days of all hands on deck, every single person in the company just focusing on that number. What is the goal of how many jobs we book a day? Or breaking down a really big annual goal into like bite-sized daily goals and then showing people, okay, how do we stack how many days we actually hit the goal? Um, or like getting even just the KPIs by position. I know that feels different in landscape lighting businesses. You don't tend to have as many employees because you make a lot more money and you're a lot more profitable. And that's why I think it's just so sexy and fun, the business that you're in. But for us, like we need to make it really simple. We're doing this with our bookkeepers at the accounting company right now. Like, how do they know that every day they did a good job? Well, that's my job as the boss, is to give them like 3 ways to win every day. And you know what? That's really freaking hard to be like, because I want them to answer every email and I want them to, you know, categorize every day, whatever it is that you think that they should be doing. I just have to keep simplifying and get it down to something that we can celebrate. And then we have to take a minute and celebrate it when we hit those metrics. So simplifying. This has been the year of simplifying the businesses and simplifying the goals and simplifying the wins and then staying consistent. I don't know. I feel like as entrepreneurs, we get distracted by like the next shiny object, the next big thing, the next big goal. And no, I need to keep it cool and just celebrate. Like, hey, you booked 7 jobs yesterday. That was the 6th day in a row that you booked 7 jobs. You're amazing. I love you. Way to go. And then I get to pat
That's so
back
good.
because I did my thing. Like, I
Yeah.
just celebrated them for doing their thing.
I'm taking notes. That you said a lot of really good things, but all those things were intentional. I
Mm,
think most business owners, we're just running. I mean, we don't have time to be intentional. We're just like, holy cow, I got to answer this phone call. I got to return this. And then we still go to bed and we still have 17 things that we didn't get done. So I think when I know I used to drive me crazy when I'd hear people say, work on your business, not in your business. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Well, what you just talked about was a perfect example of working on your business.
mm,
Like schedule 4 hours every Tuesday or an hour every Thursday, whatever it is. And okay, are you going to do KPIs by position this week? Are you going to do daily goals? How are you going to simplify this? How are you going to celebrate someone? I personally suck at celebrating. You know that,
I
right?
do know
And
that.
so
I do know
because
that.
not even just myself, but even with my team. Like in a meeting
Mostly
we
with
had last
yourself,
week.
though. I will shake Ryan. I'm like, stop it. We are not moving on to the next conversation until you give yourself a pat on the back, or you give me a high five, or you do a happy dance. Like, as entrepreneurs, we are like, we crush a goal, a big ass goal, like a big goal, and then we're off to the next thing. And it's just exhausting. It's a grind. You got to take a minute and be like, holy cow, I did a thing. Or holy cow, they did a thing, right?
Yeah,
And it
that's
was a
huge.
big thing.
Yeah. The problem is I don't know. I just assume everyone thinks like me. I know that's not how it is, but there are a lot of people that think like this, that like our team will know when something's like everything's good. And unless if you hear from me, then you know it's bad. Right. That's how we manage. Like the natural person manages like, no. And they're like, well, am I doing good? Well, yeah, of course you're doing good. Because if I'm not yelling at you,
Yeah,
you're
you
doing
haven't
great.
heard from me. No news is good news.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's like the default manager style right there. And so, but when you get intentional and say, you know what, we're going to celebrate the things, we're going to celebrate those daily wins, the KPIs. And we think we don't need that because we don't. Like as entrepreneurs, you don't need that. Otherwise, if you did, you wouldn't be an entrepreneur because most of the time your life would suck because you can't celebrate a lot of stuff at first, you know?
Well,
So
we
we
also,
think
I
people
think as
think like us.
entrepreneurs, like we respond to like, well, challenge me, tell me I can't, right? Like that's how you're gonna get me to go. Not like by saying good job. Like I don't even hear the good job. It like default filters out. I
Mhm.
can't even hear the good job. But our people are not like us in that way. The people that choose not to be entrepreneurs, that choose to like trust us with their careers and with their families and with their mortgages, like they really care what we think, and they can't read our minds, and they want to know that they're doing a good job, and they deserve to know that they're doing a good job. And I agree, it's hard and exhausting and painful, but it is so necessary. And once you create a culture of good job, and not just, we're not talking about like, baloney pat on the back, like, hey man, good job. No, we're talking about like very explicit being like, I see you, you did this great thing, and man, what a difference that made. When you tell somebody that, it's the best thing. And then when they start telling each other that, it's so fun. It's not I'm gonna say native. It's not like they're not born doing that. You have to breed a culture of that. But I think Ryan, you're a sales guy. Like sales countries, they feed on this stuff. It is all energy and mojo. Like the better the energy, the better the mojo, like the better the sales numbers. And it's contagious. But bad cultures are also contagious.
Well, I screwed up here too because when I hired my first salesperson, again, I expected him to be like me. Like I don't need you could never tell me good job, I'm still going to dominate. Like this is not something I need. And so I'm like just thinking in my mind, she's killing it. But I wouldn't say, dude, you're killing it, bro. Like let's go celebrate, Because like not that I'm trying to not say those things, but yeah, you find out wow, these sales guys are very emotional. They thrive on that.
And they're
Like as
kind
soon
of
as
fragile. They're a little fragile. They need
sure.
like a lot of affirmations, but I don't have time, patience, or like the maternal instincts to give those affirmations. So, where we've built systems is we show them how to know they did a good job. They can self reflect every day if they did a good job or a bad job. And then we tell them that they need to tell us that they did a great job. And we just create this culture of winning. Like in our wins channel, you can brag on yourself. That's
That's
allowed.
cool.
You can totally do that. And you can brag on other people's. Yeah, Trevor's saying that fragile is accurate. I mean, I think we all are fragile at some level, and we're all a little bit sensitive at some level, and yet we like to pretend like we're not, especially men. No offense, but I don't need
Mhm.
that. I'm like, yeah, but you light up when I say
This
great
is
job.
hold
Like,
on. This is not going the direction. No, we're not talking about feelings. Let's move
hey,
on.
move on. Next.
This is not that's a different show.
Yeah.
And that's
But
not the imaginary
sales
one.
cultures feed on positive energy, and it takes a lot of energy to start them and build them. But once you do, it is so contagious. It's just amazing. It feels great. It's a culture of winning.
I think Trevor should go to therapy. Just saying. Okay. Is
You
that so? How did you get your business? I'm in this mindset recently of like, what in the hell is taking you guys so long? When I say you guys, I mean everybody. Like we stay in the work hard zone too long. Like I gotta sacrifice, I gotta grind. Like people just stay stuck there. What's the key? I know some of these things are the key, like create KPIs position, like create culture, then you can replace yourself. But like, is there anything else, or is that just it? Like, how do we get to have this business that runs without us doing the grind?
So you and I have talked about this a little bit. I think it comes down to you. And this is definitely a me thing. A lot of things shifted for me mid-year last year. It's been about 15 months since I started to feel the shift. Um, and there are people that I've actually paid a lot of money to that would probably argue it started maybe 12 months before that. But it's been an evolution. And the problem is me. It's always us as leaders. I kind of got addicted to fixing it because
Mm,
I'd get the dopamine hit every time I
yep,
was the guy that did the thing. And then you know what that turns into? The bottleneck.
yeah, you're the fixer.
Ugh, but we
It-
love, I mean, that rush of like, I did it, like, but then it's a whack-a-mole. The bigger my companies grew, the more companies I started, the more things there were to fix. And, I then became that lynch point. And yeah, it's tricky, but I feel like when we say what's taking it so long is usually us. And I'm in a couple of companies right now. I'm in a couple of partnerships, and like we build up leadership teams. Like I invested in leadership probably too early. I'm learning this year that I forgot. I just skipped the whole management training part of investing in my teams. I just promote people to their highest level in confidence. And I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
yes.
You're a great technician. Why can't you manage people? And then I'd like threw tens of thousands of leadership development dollars at them. And then I'm like, what's wrong with you? You're a great leader. Why can't you manage people? And now it turns out it's like the simplest thing. You just got to teach them how to be a manager so that they can manage other people and then they can go be a leader. Weird. So basic. Um, but this idea that like I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what the idea was, but it was good. It was in there somewhere.
It sounded. I mean, I was like, yes, yes, keep going, yes, and then you're like, wait, I forgot. Well, you talk about developing people, and you fast forwarded them to leaders when you forgot to train them how to be a manager first. And we're talking about how to get out of the grind phase, and we're the weakest link. Like, how
And
do
it's
how do we
us.
do it
And
faster? How do we accelerate time? And I think you're right. Like I know I'm addicted to chaos. Like I like to be the fixer. So like when everything's running smooth, it's like, all right, I'm going to self-sabotage. I'm going to do this podcast with Meaghan so that I have less time to work on my main business because then something will break and then I can solve it.
which is why I told him no like 5 times, which is why it's a hypothetical imaginary podcast because it was just a distraction, which he did not need. But I love that we both like the idea of it. But yeah, I think that that's absolutely true. The self-sabotaging is the worst. I feel untethered. I feel completely unnerved when nobody needs me. It's like the weirdest sensation. And what it really means is like my business is thriving and it's running and everybody knows where they're going. And it's
It's
not
awesome.
about me, it's about them, right? Like now they have everything they need to go be successful. So I've been trying to shift the mentality. I don't have the right words yet, I don't have the right thoughts about it yet, but something like I'm stealing from my people when I do their shit. Right? I'm stealing from my people when I meddle, when I'm like messing with their stuff. That is me not being a good leader. That is me not being a good boss. That is me not being a good owner. That is me being an enabler. Um, and I think it's just, yeah, the
Well, I
owner.
think I like the verbiage there. You're stealing or you're robbing from your team members. I think like Andy's thing here is like, the standard thing is like we're good at a technician and then like, wait, now you got to tell me to be owner or operator. Like I just want to be technician. It's like, but you did start a business. Like you are here. So what do you want to do with it? And I think we're doing an injustice. I don't think it's fair to us. I don't think it's fair to our families. I don't think it's fair to our clients. And for sure, it's not fair to our team members if we're not going to invest in ourselves, if we're not going to invest in the management training, the leadership. It's like just shut it down and go work for someone because you're taking on this responsibility. You're taking on this big obligation to serve these people. And it's like, if pick the route. Like, if you want to stay small and just do everything yourself, that's fine. Like, lots of people have done that for a long time, but then you're going to complain a lot. Like, oh my gosh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Or you can make that decision to go to that owner status, which an owner of a business doesn't deserve to put themselves through the not paying themselves for months at a time, and having employees walk off a job on a Wednesday afternoon, and clients giving them 1-star reviews. Like, that's a little too much chaos to be addicted to, really.
Yeah. And I remember the train of thought that I was missing, which is once I build these cultures of excellence, once I build these winning teams, I actually have to develop faster because they will outgrow me. And once they outgrow me, then they will leave me. And that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having developed them, right? So it's like it creates this urgency. And I've seen it in every one of my companies at different levels. But if I do not develop fast enough for what that company, like doing 100K in 30 days, some of you might be like, yeah, whatever. Ryan Lee taught me how to do that in my 3rd month. But for me, like that was kind of the first, yeah, it's a lot of money. And it's scary. It's intimidating because I'm like, this is going too fast. We have to develop our systems faster. This is a brand new from scratch business with no infrastructure. And so our first call was to a coach. Like, that's what we did. First investment was somebody to help us figure out, okay, what's our first system we got to put in place so that the wheels don't fall off this bus? Because I've always said that making money is the easy part. We got people like Ryan over here teaching us how to sell it. Like, that's the easy part. Keeping the money is the hard part. Keeping the family is the hard part, right? Keeping the time freedom is the hard part. The money is actually not the hard part. You're listening to this and you feel triggered. I'm sorry. I'm not discounting how hard you're working, but I think if we go back to the first 14 minutes of this episode, we overcomplicate things just for the sake of overcomplicating things. It's quite simple.
I know. I just want people to move faster. I just genuinely feel this like compassion.
We're back there. Just move faster.
It's just like I don't know why, because I'm normally not a compassionate person, but I genuinely do. I'm like, gosh, it doesn't have to be this hard. Like, it can be more simple. And we already made Andy. I think it was something you said, but he's now quitting.
It's
So.
definitely my fault. Andy, I'm sure we can find a guy that would be happy to hire you, and you can make a lot of money. It'll be great. Don't worry. It's not. 75% of businesses fail. And most of them are going silently bankrupt. They're not even like intentionally failing. I've failed 6 times. That's something I'm now starting to bring into my story because I'm like, we need to normalize failure. It is hard. What we are doing is hard. It is not sunshine and rainbows. And you probably feel like you're going as fast as you can, and you're maybe even going backwards. And that's normal. That's part of the process.
All right. So here's a good question for you. I feel like landscape lighting secrets.
We can't leave them there. How do they go faster? That was your question.
How do they go faster?
Yeah. How do they go faster?
That's what I was just going to ask you.
Great. Okay, good.
I don't want to move to the next topic until.
Are you going to answer it, or am I going to answer it?
You are. This is all about Meaghan.
Great. I'm going to say start where you are. So if you're frustrated, or if Ryan's frustrated with you that you're not going fast enough, you're not going faster, usually we get ahead of ourselves. So start where you are. Keep it simple. Lowest hanging fruit. Every day when I'm making a decision and I've got a million people trying to get my attention in a million directions, I just think about what is hurting the worst right now? Where do I need to put my energy? What can I fix the fastest that will make the biggest impact? And I do that. And then we next day start it all over. Groundhog Day, right? But if you're fixing things long term, not just putting out the fire, like I let a lot of fires burn all day, every day. Lots of things burn. And I just pray that they don't burn down the whole house, right? But you got to go through it. Okay, biggest impact, lowest amount of work. Usually impact has to do with dollars, right? Do that. Fix it permanently. Like build the system, fix it, move on. Next thing.
Love it. It's funny you mentioned that, because there's a ton of fires happening right now in Utah. And when they fight fires, I am not a fireman. I just watched the news one time and this is what they said. So just go with me. They like, the fire's there. They actually don't try to put it out. They're just trying to prevent it from spreading. So they'll go and make the lines around it. Like, hey, you know what? If it burns this, who cares? As long as it doesn't come down here, because then that will kill people, right? So that strategy, I think, is genius in certain instances in our businesses. We're sitting here trying, we're throwing buckets of water on it, hiking up and down the mountain. It's like, dude, just let the thing burn. Like it's not really as damaging as you think. Now, if it comes over here, you're gonna need to call some backup. Call Meaghan, call Ryan. Like we're gonna have to build a line here because that cannot come down here. But for the most part, a lot of these fires can burn. And then I really like how instead of putting out fires, like spend a day, spend an hour, spend a month, whatever it is. What can you do and build in your business, in your system, in your whatever to prevent the fire from happening in the first place? Because now you solve it one time for the next 10 years instead of solving it daily for the next 10 years. Love it.
That's good. Rewind that if you're listening to this not live and listen to that again. That was so good.
Okay. Can we go on to the next thing?
Now we
Because I really got to ask
yeah,
you this. This
go
is
for it.
probably the
Ready?
reason, other than the fact that I wanted to announce you're going to be speaking at Light Up Expo, and we're going to be doing a podcast together in the sometime very soon,
At
within the
some
next.
point. Right now, we're doing a podcast together right this minute. Look at us manifesting our dreams. Good job, Brian.
Yeah.
Thanks, Emery Allen. You're the best.
Hashtag Emery Allen. Tom G at emeryallen.com. Okay, so here's the deal. This is the real reason I wanted to have you on. And I didn't know it until we started talking because I didn't have many notes for today's show. But I feel like Landscape Lighting Secrets has done it's like awesome. Like people come in the program, they'll literally make 100 grand in a month. Like it'll do crazy shit and like they'll have like really cool stuff. But then this is where I haven't solved yet, and this is where I need your help. Like 3 months later, they could be like broke. And I'm like, what? You were just like telling me how awesome it was and like how you made all this money and you did all these cool things. And then all of a sudden they don't have as much money. And so how do we not just make money, but how do you help people keep it? Because
Mm,
I'm like, hey, hire your replacement. Like get an office manager, get a salesperson, get a GM, like do all the things. And like I think that's true. But I think a lot of times people don't know how much to spend. I don't want to say the B word, but they don't know how much to spend. Do you know what the B word is?
I don't.
You're a
Let's say,
finance nerd.
what is it? Oh, budget. Is that what you're going to
Don't
say?
don't say it out loud. The B word. Okay. They don't know how much to spend on certain things and at what rate. And so like they'll go make like $100,000, 200,000. We've had people have $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 months, and then still like a couple months later being like, all right, what do you guys do for this? I'm like, what? How do you not know that? Like, how are you broke? So can you help us? Can you help us keep more money?
Well, you're going to think I'm a jerk. And I've already cussed like 4 times on the podcast. So I'm sorry, Emery Allen and listeners. But it's really more simple than we let it be. We try to overcomplicate it all. But here's how you don't run out of money. Ready? You charge more than it costs you.
Okay. Interesting concept.
Isn't that so weird? Like, but we overcomplicate what it costs us. I just did 5 speaking engagements in 7 days in 2 countries in 3 states. And I had a guy in one of those classes, and luckily I can't remember where I was or what my name was by the end of the 7 days, but he was like arguing with me about the cost of his storage unit. And I'm in the front of the room and he's in the back of the room. And we're talking about like, I don't know, price per square foot or something related to pricing. And I'm like, you've completely missed the point. If we need to allocate like every hour that storage unit is being used or not used or that office being, you've missed the point. The point is you have to charge more than it costs you so that you can be profitable. And it is our obligation, our responsibility to be as profitable as we can be, because otherwise we should just go be employees, right? We have to get rid of this dirty word of making money is evil or bad or greedy. No, if we're going to be employers, we're going to like let our people trust us with their careers and their families and their mortgages and their kids' colleges. I've made Ryan cry now.
I'm
We
cheering.
have to be profitable. And the way you're profitable is you just got to know your numbers and you got to set your pricing right. I really think Ryan's dying. I'm worried. Like, do I need
That
to
was
call
beautiful. I'm trying.
Okay. And then the second part of that is then you have to be disciplined and not go blow it all on stupid crap. So charge more than it costs you and then don't spend it on stupid crap. I think we could just put that on my tombstone and I could die tomorrow and I change the world and reduce the business failure rate, right?
Yeah. So direct quote: "Be disciplined and don't blow it all on stupid crap."
Yep.
Meaghan Likes.
Period. And
Cool.
but and then we can take it seriously. Like I own an accounting company. It's called Likes Accounting. We help home service businesses with their numbers. And our guarantee is if you work with us, you will have double-digit net profitability. You will be double-digit net profitable within the first 6 months when you stick to your budget. So we're going to not call it the dirty B word. We're going to call it the budget, the badass budget word, because it is the answer to all of the problems that you have. And it's actually quite fun. As entrepreneurs, we hate being told what to do. But if you could shift that mindset around the budget, what I love about the budget, what I love about it is it's actually my permission to spend money. I just choose in advance how much money I'm going to spend next year. How many cool trips am I going to take my leadership team on? How many new trucks are we going to buy? How many new computers are we going to buy? Like a budget to me is just letting me decide where I'm going to spend my money instead of waiting to the end of the year and being like, holy cow, where'd it go? I worked so hard. There's nothing left. Where'd it go? So I don't know, soapbox over, but you all need a budget. I can do it in less than 8 minutes. Actually, in Ryan's top secret group that's not that secret, there's a budget workshop from Meaghan Likes where we do it in like 8 minutes. It's fantastic. You should just join the group and then watch that budget workshop and it'll change your life. And we learn that profit is not what happens at the end. We actually plan for it. The expenses are the plug. And that's the whole point of the budget is we figure out how much can we afford to spend and then where do we want to spend it? And then we spend it with a smile.
I should confess, we actually changed our program. So when people join, what we do is we sell them. We have this really cool budget workshop. It's $15,000.
Great.
And but the good news is you get all this other stuff called landscape lighting secrets for free. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that. Well, good thing you gave me domain names. Otherwise, I'd be mad at you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, but seriously, would that not be worth it? Would you not spend 15 grand to like unlock this freedom and this pipeline of success for the rest of your career? Of course, it'd be worth 15 grand. Like literally, that training you did for us is worth 15. So we just sell that as 15,000, and then you get everything else for free for a year.
I was
Um,
negotiating with a guy that's kind of playing hardball about a proposal I have out, and I was like, it's okay. Like, I totally understand. But here's where I'm coming from. The last time I did this at scale, the guy made $90 million in less than 6 months by sticking to his budget. So we're cool. Like, you can just not pay that little bit of amount, whatever it is, to join your program. 15 grand, like for a budget that could make you so much money. And it's hard. We're not discounting that's not hard. It's only hard because you haven't done it before. It's only hard because it's scary. But the actual like doing of a budget, it's quite easy. That's why people like me exist, to make it easy and fun.
all right, so I'll say the word budget, and here's what I learned from you, which I think is really cool. I'm just going to restate what you said
Great.
because I like to do that.
I blacked out, so I have no idea what I said. Please tell
Yeah.
me.
uh, so the budget is very much an empowering thing instead of a limiting thing. And I think most people don't want to do a freaking budget because then it limits them and says, okay, how much do I have to? Oh, yeah, I can only spend 60,000 on marketing this year. And I'm like, no, actually, when you do the budget the right way, Megan's way, it can be whatever you want. Like it's so cool. You can literally do those vacations. You can do whatever you want. You just design your dream life. You design your dream business. And so people like when people say they'll say, well, it's not in the budget. I'm like, duh, then put it in the budget because a budget is not limiting. It's empowering. It
And
decides exactly what
spoiler, I change the budgets for every one of my companies almost every month. It's not perm. You don't set it once and forget it. Like we have a budget meeting for every company every month. It's a requirement. And we change the next month budget because we didn't know what we now know. Like if we do the budget in October, we don't know what next February is going to look like. But when February's over, we can make adjustments for March and the rest of the year. It's dynamic. I'm gonna say it out loud, and I'm gonna say it emphatically with that same conviction, but I don't miss goals because I set smart goals, realistic goals, and I build plans to hit my goals. Like, this is not rocket science, guys. You just gotta be disciplined. And sometimes it's not sexy, and sometimes it's boring, and sometimes it's lame, and sometimes your people don't need you, but I make a shit ton of money and I'm pretty happy. Like, it works. You can do it.
I love it. So you guys guarantee double-digit net profit in 6 months, and
When they stick to
and
our budget.
when they stick to the budget. And you guys, and so I like you do it monthly, or how often do you revisit it?
Every month.
Every month?
You should look at
I
your
mean,
budget every
I do that too. I do that too.
You totally
Trust
do,
me.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But see, Ryan likes money. We're in a race to private jets. I mean, he likes his money.
It's fun. It's fun. So okay, so you do the budget. To me, it truly is abundance versus scarcity. People view it as a scarcity, like, oh, now I can't have much. But that's why I'm such a fan of raising your price. I mean, people know me for saying that now, but it's like true because like I can change my budget. I can change all those variables real easily. Like, you say, oh, I'm going to spend 10% of revenue on ad spend or whatever. It's like, well, I can spend the exact same dollar amount and change the percentage down to 8. Watch this. I just raised my price, right? I just increased my revenue. Like, so you're not fixed. It's not this like vacuum that we live in. We totally get to control our business. That's why we're business owners. Like, we own it. We can create our own rules. We can create our own economy. That's the glory of this whole thing. That's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have freedom. We're supposed to have fun. Yet we end up being trapped. We let the budget run us. We let the business run us. And that's the disaster that we create. So I'm hoping people are taking notes on what you're talking about and really implementing this stuff.
I hope they also feel triggered, not to call you out, Trevor, by let them. Because as entrepreneurs, we don't let anybody do anything for us. So what I heard Ryan say was just take the power back. You can do this.
Love it.
And we're rooting for you. Like, in our imaginary future things that we do together, like at the Light It Up Expo, which is not imaginary, or in the group that you get access to the budget for, which is not imaginary, or in the past podcast episodes, we're rooting for you and we believe in you. And this stuff works. You can do 100K in the first 30 days. Ryan will show you how. He doesn't have any secrets. He will help you get there. You just got to be disciplined. You got to do the work. You guys got to stop getting distracted by shiny objects.
Is that a hint? Okay. It's so fun though.
I know.
I'll
right.
wait till you. I haven't even caught
sort
you
of
up.
like hopeful. You leave them in some sort of positive place. Where are we leaving them today?
No, I was going to leave them with like, let's chase shiny objects. Let's go down the rabbit holes. Let's get crazy. Let's not get focused. Like, it's so much more fun.
This is why we're never doing a podcast, isn't it? Yep.
No, it's gonna be epic. No, let's leave them with. I got 48 more questions, so I got to pick one. I don't know why. Well, let's do this. I want you to kind of finish off. Just give some advice to your past self, 5-10 years ago. What do you wish someone would have told you when you were younger in business? Something that you know now that might seem simple. Maybe it's not easy, but maybe just some final advice for someone who feels stuck. Maybe they're struggling. Final advice.
This is gonna hurt. So if you're not sitting down and you're listening to this, maybe sit down. If you're driving, maybe pull over. This is gonna hit you right between the eyes. Are you ready?
I'm sitting down.
You are sitting down. Your number one asset in your entire world is the business that you hate and are fighting against and are robbing. If we were to like look at your personal balance sheet and your money as a person for your family, for your financial future, the number one asset that all of us have, that all of us are sitting on, is that business. And we do not treat it like an asset. We do not treat it like an investment. We do not treat it with care and love. Instead, we steal from it, we take from it, we neglect it, we get mad at it. And so I wish somebody would have told me that earlier. I wish they would have been like, huh, when I think about the Meaghan Likes retirement plan, the number one way to sail off into the sunset is actually that business. And if I treated it with more respect, if I took it more seriously, if I listened to what these people were saying and actually implemented, because the listening doesn't do anything. You guys just wasted 1 hour and
Invest,
21 seconds of your life unless you go take
invested.
action,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
You got to go take action. And so I wish somebody would have told me that this thing that we're doing right now, that we're building, is real, and it can make a real impact for our kids and for our spouses and for our parents and for our communities and for our employees' families. And so it's time to stop digging around. Like, go take it
Yes.
seriously.
I love it.
I wish somebody would have told me that.
It's so true. I mean, I have to almost remind myself of this. I should remind myself daily, but it's more like weekly, probably more like monthly, just like gap in the gain. Like we should really be grateful for what we have. And like these businesses are these huge assets, like you said. So that's cool.
Well, and we don't know how to value it. So if you're going to take it seriously, this is the action item. Write down your personal balance sheet right now. How much cash do you have? How much investments do you have? How much is your business worth? And how much do you owe people? And we don't know how to value our business. So we don't know how to put that number on the balance sheet. But here's the thing, in your monthly family budget meeting, which I have one every month with my husband, you should also be reporting on, did your assets go up or go down? Did your actions this week increase the value of your business or decrease the value of your business?
Well
And then
said. Love it.
that fixes it. Yeah. So it's a good litmus test. And I wish somebody had told me that. So now we've told them, and go grow your businesses to serve your family, because this stuff's hard and we're here to help you.
Okay. Thanks so much, Meaghan. Really appreciate you sharing everything.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the future podcast together.
Can't wait.
Go do it, guys. Take Meaghan's advice and learn from her mistakes. That's the fastest way to learn. It's not even from your own. Learn from others. So thanks a ton, Meaghan.
It's true.
All right, guys. I got to take my daughter to dance. So you guys should go do stuff and implement. Love you all. Oh, hey, how do people get a hold of Meaghan?
On Facebook, Meaghan Likes. I'm there, and likesaccounting.com.
I forgot to, Likes Accounting, guys. Go check them out. Hire her. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. That was awesome. I appreciate you, Meaghan.
I appreciate you.